Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, confirms the narrative that's shaping up. In his May 6th testimony, he made some comments that if you're an XRP holder, you're really going to want to hear this. Also, the institutional buyers. The outflows from the OTC market, meaning the institutional buyers that are buying Bitcoin, has just spiked to all-time highs. So we're going to talk about what that means for Bitcoin as well as this crypto bull run as a whole. And Crypto Trader just gave his thoughts on Ethereum and why he thinks Ethereum is actually going to 6x in the near term. Yes, that's up 600% from where it is currently, right now at about 2,500, because he believes that DeFi and the smart contracts puts it ahead of literally everything else, and in his opinion, could overtake Bitcoin and have a market cap of trillions. So is that going to actually happen with a decoupling from Bitcoin and this market? Or is it going to be part of this massive run-up that many crypto analysts are now saying that Bitcoin has hit bottom and we're now on our way up? Hey everybody, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And on this channel right now, I am covering the SEC versus Ripple case, as well as other crypto news, investment markets, personal finance, and stimulus check updates. So if any of those topics interest you and you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the bell notification icon. That way YouTube will notify you when I release a new video. And I do that when I get some new developments. And in this space, there is always a ton of new developments. And if you're feeling really generous, I'd greatly appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. It really helps out with a YouTube channel like this and just tells YouTube to promote this video to new audiences. So if you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So crypto trader Lark Davis thinks Ethereum is actually going to jump 600% in the near term. He thinks that largely based on the backs of the decentralized finance industry, which is really booming, even in 2021, as well as the NFT markets that are really starting to take off. There's a ton of projects. There's a ton of NFT-based projects and marketplaces that are being built specifically on the Ethereum network. Now, he's banking on this to be, in part, a driver of the large part of this price increase. Now, in my opinion, I think he's also basing it on that this Bitcoin or crypto bull run is also not over, because he's not the only one thinking this. Now, Cathie Wood of ARK Investments, who's made a lot of news in the crypto space because of her bullish outlook on crypto and Bitcoin as a whole, recently just bought into Ethereum. ARK Invest recently just bought 639,000 shares of the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. But you also might want to keep an eye on Cardano. There's a lot of people thinking that Cardano is basically Ethereum's only real competitor. They've actually built themselves up to be number 5, the 5th biggest market cap listed on CoinMarketCap, and just recently they hit a milestone. They now have 1 million wallets that are holding Cardano. But in order for some of that to happen, in my opinion, we're going to need to see the rest of this bull run continue to come into fruition. And some of that is going to be based on what institutional investors are actually doing, how much they're buying into crypto, how much Bitcoin they're buying. So what does this mean exactly for Bitcoin? Well, if you watched my latest video, I actually outlined what is now assumed to be the actual cause of all of this major Bitcoin price decline, which is basically whales opening up wallets, buying large amounts of Bitcoin, and then proceeding to dump it about a week to a month later, thus causing major price decreases where other whales, possibly the same people, are coming in with existing wallets with huge amounts of Bitcoin, and they're sweeping up the super cheap Bitcoin, as well as probably some other altcoins as well. And this is now backed up by the OTC market, showing institutional buying at all-time highs during this particular bull run cycle. So what does this mean? Well, it basically means people with deep wallets are buying tons and tons of Bitcoin, and they're not doing it on regular exchanges. They're doing it on OTC exchanges, which is basically private exchanges for really rich people, where it doesn't affect necessarily the price when they buy, and they don't incur so many fees when they do it. Now, following the storyline, also of note, crypto analyst Nicholas Merton has also been looking at this bull run and this market cycle and said there's no bear market really anywhere in sight. So he believes that this is just some price manipulation, as well as some consolidation and institutional buying at lower levels before it rubber bands back up. Now, some of his theory is based on these cycles actually expanding and taking a little bit longer than the previous cycle, which is really going to benefit the crypto market as a whole, because it's just going to give it more time for this cycle to actually hit its peak. And what else is more time going to benefit? XRP. Why? Because now they have even a little bit more time to exit this lawsuit with the SEC. If you go ahead and watch my previous video, I talk about why there could actually be a summary judgment in the coming possibly weeks or in the next month or two, which would still give it plenty of time to ride that momentum of the rest of the Bitcoin bull run all the way up. Now here's where Gary Gensler's comments fit in. Gary Gensler is the head of the SEC, and on May 6th, he gave testimony to basically him starting his new position. They asked him his thoughts on what he intends to do, his comments on different things, and specifically he mentioned something of note that I think a lot of people glazed over, but somebody on Twitter picked it up not too long ago and said, I wonder if he was talking about Ripple, because at the time he was talking about clearances and settlement times. Here's his actual quote. "The longer it takes a trade to settle, the more risk our markets assume. The good news is we now have technology to shorten those settlement cycles." I wonder what technology shortens those settlement cycles. Could it be XRP that can actually do it in seconds? That can actually do it across borders? That can actually do it for very small fees? And of course, it's all fitting in with the narrative that the SEC and the rest of the government wants to talk about, which is green energy, green technology, and like what Elon Musk pointed out, Bitcoin's just not very energy friendly. Well, at least that's what they want to tell you. The other part of that is XRP is very much eco-friendly compared to Bitcoin. So if something like CBDCs ever shape up, which it looks like they're going to be doing some testing on later this year, I wonder which technologies they're going to be using for their underlying transfer and their underlying cross-border payment technologies. And Dark Defender on Twitter recently came up with his chart eyeing a $13.33 price point for XRP. Now, in my opinion, he's probably going to need all of the rest of this bull run to actually hit that and probably get out of this SEC lawsuit either with a settlement or a summary judgment, one or the other, in order for it to hit that. But the technicals, at least, are really shaping up where the market factors are really falling into place for that to happen to XRP. All right, guys, well, that's it for today. I appreciate you watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.